Welcome to a Bedhead and Breakthroughs, where you can come for this crazy, insane bedhead, stay for the breakthroughs. I'm Debbie Burns. I teach soul magic to unicorns who are reaching for something more in life, in relationships, and career. And I lead you back to radical self-love and immense creation power. So, getting into today, when fans turn rabid. Okay. Now, I know that's kind of a funny little title, when fans turn rabid, but I think it's really important conversation for any of us that are putting creation work out there in the world. You put creation work out there in the world at all, and someday you will have someone who is a follower or a fan turn on you for whatever way, shape, or for whatever reason. Usually it comes down to, like, they love you, they love you until you say or do something that they vehemently disagree with. And then all of a sudden, anything that you've done before or anything that's happened, they might misinterpret or even interpret correctly, but hate you for it and turn on you. I've had this happen before. I have clients who's had this happen before. And I really want to use Brené Brown as our example today. She's been a few days ago, she posted, I don't know if you know about this whole, like, Joe Rogan, Spotify fiasco thing, but there's been some people who have been upset about misinformation on Spotify from his podcast. Now, I'm not here to debate the issue. That's not what I'm here for. I want to talk about Brené's response to the issue. She took a moment to pause her podcast because she wanted to get more clarity around the issue, what was happening, any questions that she had. And so I saw it when it came up that she was just pausing. She's like, "Hey, until further notice, just so everybody knows, my podcast is paused on Spotify." And then the shenanigans ensued, because all throughout her comments, it became like Captain America Civil War down there, man. People got really upset. Comments were being thrown. People were angry, making assumptions about her pause. She didn't say anything about anyone. She just said, "I'm pausing my Spotify podcast. I'll be back." And yesterday she posted a response of coming back. And I thought her response was beautiful. She essentially walked through her decision. She's like, "I noticed a lot of you got pretty upset. Here's clarity on what I was looking for. I just need to get clarity on their policy. I needed to see that they were presenting it clearly. I needed to know that they were doing it consistently, so that the same information or the same rule that was being applied over here is being applied over here." She was working with Spotify, and yet people who claim to be followers posted lots of really unkind things about her. "Oh, you're not who I thought you were. You're this. You're horrible. You're worth being canceled." Okay, so you guys know what I mean. And there's two things that I want to share from her response with you today. Two things that really show us the power of radical self-love in authentic leadership. Because when our followers turn on us with hate, with anger, with misunderstanding, because I've had both. I've had people misunderstand my intentions and turn on me, or I've had them be very clear. Like, I just took a stance that was necessary for whatever it was that I was offering or doing, and they were like not having any of it and tried to land blast me. Okay. So that it happens. It happens. And there are two things that came out of this that I really, really loved. And one was her comment here. Now, if you go to her Instagram account, she has it in pages, but on page 3 of her post from yesterday, she says, "For everyone who said this pause was out of line with my work," and you will get that. If you put your work out into the world, someone will come back and be like, "Oh, that's not who you said you were. That's not how you said you would be." So this is her response: "For everyone who said this pause was out of line with my work, you clearly skipped all of the places where I asked about pausing, getting curious, and asking questions." And I thought that was a brilliant, not just on how she responded to her people, but if you're ever wondering how to handle situations, this right here is so delicious. Pause, get curious, and ask questions. That is phenomenal leadership. I had my own experience where I made a requirement in a certain offering that I had. They got to that requirement. They blew up about that requirement. They sent me a nasty gram over that requirement. And then they went out on social and tried to land blast me there. There was no pausing. There was no getting curious. There was no asking questions. And the funny thing is that requirement had to be there for the place that we were going. I didn't even get to decide that requirement. That was because of where we were going to be traveling to. So just know that in our own lives, I can't control the people outside of me. I can't control whether or not people who follow me, people who claim to be fans of mine, I can't control how they're going to respond to me. Okay. That's not ours to control. What we can do is we can pause, we can get curious, and we can ask questions. And then we can decide where to go from there. Now, the other thing that I wanted to share with you that I thought was so powerful from her response on page 7, no matter what I say or do, okay, super important when we're dealing with fans, when we're dealing with followers, when we're dealing with anyone who thinks they have a say in our work, right? Because that happens. People, we fall in love with the people that we follow. We read their books, we follow their podcasts, we watch their YouTube videos, and we fall in love with them. We fall in love with their work, and we feel like we've developed this relationship with them. Okay. I'm going to be the first to claim that. I love certain people that I follow. And so I have like an investment in there. But she says this: no matter what I say or do, some of you will be frustrated, disappointed, or pissed off. That's okay. I will never stop sharing my opinions and beliefs to make anyone feel better or more comfortable or to gain your approval. Not now, not ever. I thought that was amazing. Absolutely amazing. This idea that I am going to be out there producing in the world. And I understand that what I say is not always going to make other people happy. Team, what you and I say, what you and I create is not always going to make other people happy. You cannot be all things to all people all of the time. It's not possible. What we've got to do is to align to our values, align to our radical self-love. And that's what we're seeing here. When I talk about radical self-love and leadership, this is what it looks like. It's the understanding that what we say may not land on every single person in every single crowd, and understanding that that's okay. But we have enough love for ourselves first, here, powerfully, wholly, completely, that no matter what others outside of us say, that we will never stop sharing our opinions and beliefs. And we are not here to make people feel better, more comfortable, or for approval. That last piece, so important. We are not here to gain their approval. We are here to stand in our values, to speak our truth with authenticity, to make this world, well, I'm here to make this world a better place than I found it. You can decide what you're here for. But it's not about getting validation or approval out here. It's about speaking from validation and approval in here. So when your fans turn rabid, it's just a matter of time. If you haven't experienced that yet, it's one thing to get the random troll or hater out there that's like pops in a comment. It's another thing to have someone who has followed you, supported you, professed to love you, turn on you because they don't like something that you said or they don't like a stance that you took. Okay. And it will happen. You create long enough and it will happen in whatever way, shape, or form that you create. It will happen. And when it does, I hope that you will remember this example from Brené Brown, that you will pause, that you will get curious, that you will ask questions, because some things we can rectify. But at the end of the day, if it is simply a delineation, a separation between values, meaning we come to a point in the road that our values and their values become different values. When and if that happens, that we can stand powerfully in ourselves to go, I love this. I trust this. I believe this. Me, my soul, my spirit, I've got to act upon what I know and feel and believe is right and in alignment with me. Not taking anyone, doesn't matter. I'm doing what's right for me without anyone else. It reminds me of that. Really, I love this scene from Pride and Prejudice where Elizabeth's in the garden with whatever her fancy name is, Darcy's aunt, and she's trying to get Elizabeth to promise that she'll never go after Darcy. And then she says some things, and Elizabeth is like, I've never had to make a decision based on someone whose life is so unwholly connected to my own. Paraphrasing terribly, but just so powerful though. So powerful though. Remember, as much as these people show up in our circles, as much as they love the things they say, we still have to remember that those lives are they're so unconnected to our own, meaning that their beliefs, their desires, their anger, their sadness, their frustration needs to be theirs. We've got to allow our fans, even those that turn rabid, to have their experience and to let it be theirs. The Power is in not letting their experience to dictate our alignment. Okay. Our alignment. Now, if I've messed up, I'm going to own it. Okay. And that's happened before. I've been like, oh shit, I did not see that. I'm going to own that. I'm going to make the adjustment. But that's a different conversation. Those who want to open discourse with me, that's very different than those who want to turn rabbit on me and just gobble me up because I said or did something wrong. So when fans turn rabid, I'm going to point you to Brené Brown and be like, follow this example, be in this space, be powerful, be in radical self-love, and make your decisions from alignment rather than reaction. Okay, I've talked long enough. This has been a great day. For those who could join me, thank you. I haven't said that each morning. Thank you so much for joining me live. And if you catch me on the replay, that's amazing too. I so much appreciate you. I love you. I support you in all that you do. Now, I won't be here tomorrow. I won't be here on Monday. I know I'm normally Monday through Thursday. That was my deal. But those are travel days. Deb's going to step out and have some fun. So I'll be traveling right during this tomorrow and same on Monday. So I will be back next Tuesday. Same glitter time, same glitter channel. Okay. Next Tuesday for another Bedhead and Breakthrough. Until then, have a beautiful rest of your week. Have an amazing weekend. And I hope to see you next time at Bedhead Breakthroughs. Have a beautiful rest of your day.